Saying a special good morning to our listeners and viewers this morning. Welcome to, of course, the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio GBN TV. And it's, of course, another edition of Cooperative Spotlight. Let me say good morning to my guests. You know, of course, Mr. Emmons is one of the regulars. Let me say good morning to him. We haven't had Anthony here in a wee bit. I think it's we didn't have you last year.
No.
And you're back with us this year. Welcome back. And, of course, we have Miss Elista with us this morning also. Good morning. I got your name right, eh?
Good morning.
I got the name right. Yes. Good morning to everyone once again. Welcome.
Yes,
welcome. Of course. Our apology for the bit of a late start this morning, but our focus conversation will be this morning: how did the League and the Division of Cooperative work together in the interests of cooperatives? We've been having a series of these programs for the last couple of weeks. Myself, Mr. Graham, was here last Thursday, and we spoke a whole lot. We had Mr. Emmons the week before, and so forth. Mm-hmm. Now, if I had to ask a question straight off the bat, the division of cooperatives, how does it work in the interest, or how do they work together, I should say, in the interest of cooperatives? Who's going to take the mantle of getting that conversation started this morning?
Okay, so let me just start off by saying that let me just highlight the difference of the two organizations.
Yes.
Now, the division of cooperative, or the department, we use it interchangeable, is a government department. Mm-hmm. All right, and the division of cooperative really is a regulator for the cooperative sector, right? So the division it regulates by registering cooperatives, ensuring that they're in line with the laws, yes, corporate laws, right, and ensure that they have good governance and that they have good business practices. Now, the League, on the other hand, is really there to enhance the cooperative sector, mm-hmm, right? The League lends certain services, and of course, Mr. Stroud is going to expound on that. They lend certain services to the cooperatives to really enhance their operation and to make them more viable and more successful.
No, right, the dynamics between the two. Of course, that you give that bit of experience. Give us the dynamics of the two, please.
Right. So, pleasant good morning to viewers and listeners. And my colleagues here, Ms. Cato, is a member of the League. Yeah. So you will see, I took a break last year. You will be seeing more of her than more of me sometimes.
All right.
So I divide myself now. I multiply myself.
Multiply.
Yes. So
but then that will be 2 meals. So I don't think you multiply.
When you multiply, so when you see me, you will see her. When you see her, you will see me.
She'll be working in your absence.
Yes, right.
I think I will prefer taking that
together.
All right.
Alongside. But the dynamics. Mm-hmm. When you're speaking of cooperatives is a business model.
Yes.
And that model, that business now, it requires compliance, regulation,
yeah,
and it also requires development. So the Department of Cooperative function in that role of compliance office. So they are the compliance people. They regulate. They dictate based on the act. They are the judge, yeah, in this match, right? So they are the big boys. They have the voice. They have teeth. They can bite. They can shut down. They can collaborate it. We work in the interest of registering, yeah, but they are the one that give the certificate of registration, yeah, right? The League now is a developer, yeah, of cooperative, and we're talking about both the non-financial and the credit union as well, okay, right? So we function in that role. So we collaborate with the department, the regulators, in the interests of the cooperative, right? So we work with them, we work with the department, we speak, we have synergies, not everything, we work not only in the letter of the law, yeah, but in the spirit of the law, in the interests of cooperative.
So there's a level of understanding that has to take place also.
Yes.
I would say that. Talk to me in reference to that.
Understanding. Well, the cooperative know that the Department of Cooperatives, they are the regulators. They function under the Act as that. The League is a creature of that act, right? As the apex body, we are formed through the act, right? So we are creature of the act. They oversee the act. They administrate the act. We are creatures of the act. So that's the connection.
Yeah.
So we are the apex body. We can just do things. We can train, we can develop without them, but they would still have to approve, regulate, and make sure that our development is in keeping with what the acts speak of, what the law speak of. So that's why we work in tangent. Yeah.
All right. Anything when I want to after that, Mr. Strode?
No, I think that Mr. Strode really,
I'm still mixing up
yes.
Strode and of course mixing both up as always.
Yeah,
Me and the names fact, me and the names.
No. Yeah, so I think Mr. Strode really, his explanation really encapsulates everything.
All right.
Covers everything, yeah.
All right. Now, when the division and the league comes together and put together their works together, as you mentioned, and that cooperative is formed, where does it go from there?
Okay, so now once the cooperative is formed, there are certain steps that they need to take.
Yes.
That needs to happen within a specific period of time. So there are things that they need to do. They would need to set up an account, a bank account, right? They would need to get an auditor to audit the books for the next financial year and stuff like that. Now the league really comes in now to help them along in those, fulfilling those mandates.
Yes.
Right. So they could reach out to the league to help them to secure an auditor and things like that. So basically that's where they go from there, and then the department now will just oversee, make sure that everything happens in line with the law. It's supposed to happen.
The league helps the cooperative formulate to some of the issues that they need to have taken care of.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming from there, that's where the managerial part of that particular cooperative now takes over. If I could go in that particular direction now.
Yes.
Well, yeah. When we work together from the inception of the group. So there's an interest group that wants to form a cooperative. They don't meet with the league alone or the department alone. So they meet with both of us.
Yes.
We speak to them about the model. We speak to them about the role of the Department of Cooperative and the roles and functions of the league in cooperatives. We help them together form what they would call, what the law speaks of as an interim management team.
Yes.
So we go into governance, right? As we prolong, we will guide that team in the process of setting up the business. Setting up the account, setting up the board, setting up the bylaws, the constitutions, everything, the policies that need to go to govern that cooperative. Two critical piece of document that they would have to submit as a group is the bylaws.
Yes.
So it is important and imperative that the two entity works with them, because they regulate, we develop. So we work together to save time. And the other piece of document is the business plan, right? Which mainly our office handle the aspect of the business plan for development of that cooperative, right?
All right. If I interject on you here quickly, now you mentioned that they're responsible for submitting those two components there, the bylaws. Who's responsible for formulating that bylaw?
Right. So we help the entity. If there is expertise within the entity, we allow them.
Yes.
Right. You have to be flexible. It's not one size fit all, because if an entity has the expertise within that group that can produce bylaws, they will go ahead. We will guide them.
All right. Make sure it's documented in the right way and so forth. Okay.
Make sure that all that is in it is in accordance with the act.
Yeah.
Right. And we would still have to oversee them. We would still have to go through it with them to make sure that document is substantial according to the law.
All right. And you also participate in terms of the business plan and so forth. Do you also participate in the actual production of that also?
Yes. If there's expertise as well, they come with a business plan. We go through the business plan. We have a department in the league called the Business Support Executive Department. There's a head of that department, and he will be responsible mainly for scrutinizing it and making sure that it's a sound business plan, not just a pie in the sky business plan, but it's legitimate, it's relevant, and so forth, and it speaks to a resilient business to form, a business that is eligible for forming, right? And that is done within the department as well.
If for some reason a particular cooperative wants to form, and of course the business plan and so forth is developed, but then somehow it's not in line with what the main objective of what the league sees. Is there a process where you can say, hey, you got to take that back and reformulate that in some way or the other?
Yes, definitely. I think we had a situation like that recently also, you know. So if once you scrutinize the business plan and you realize, you know, it's
the objective that was set out is not what you plan on doing.
Exactly. We would ask the entity to revisit the business plan, and we will also make certain suggestions and recommendations for them to, you know, help to improve the business plan and make it a little bit more relevant.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Cato seemed to be very quiet this morning.
Yes, I would like to speak.
You know. All right. But we could probably tap in a little bit of some of the experiences of course, when the league and the division comes together and to in terms of formulating those cooperatives, some of the advice you would like to show to individuals. Probably there are listener viewers right now who are saying, hey, I may have planned on starting a cooperative, and I'm listening to the conversation that we're having right now, and maybe there any advice you would like to show to them on that level?
Yes, well, definitely. You know, once you intend to form a cooperative, we always encourage people to reach out to the department and division, so that you don't waste time. You know, so we'll come in and we'll guide you, make sure that you're on the right path, right? You're taking the right steps. Right, so my advice would be once you intend to form, always reach out to either the department or cooperative or the Grenada Cooperative League. All right. And ask for assistance. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you meet a group of persons, interest persons, and they say they have this group and they want to form X, Y, and Z business. Does it fit the cooperative? They want to form a cooperative, they prefer a cooperative, and so forth. So I would engage them, see what is their objective, see what is their business focus, and see if it fits into that of a cooperative. Can I have an understanding of where they want to go? And then I would say, okay, well, we would need to meet with your group. And I would we would inform the department, as if they meet with me, contact me first. The same thing would happen with the department. If they contact the department would set up that engagement and invite us to that engagement, and we would meet and go over the introduction, what we call an introduction to cooperative, with this group, letting them know what is a cooperative, how a cooperative function, how a cooperative manage, you know, because sometimes people want to form cooperative, but they see themselves as in charge. And cooperative is not about a one-man show, right? So when we go through all that introduction to them, letting them understand that based on their interests in what they want to form, if it fits a cooperative model, when we continue the engagement and helping them know that, letting them know what it is require, bylaws, business plan, certain amount of members, registration of, you know, they have to put shares involved in and so forth. So we let them know what is the requirements, and they will put that together. We'll meet back and forth with the documentation until they are ready for registration.
And it's really obvious the league and the department will work in the interest of that particular cooperative in terms of letting the success of it be good. You want a good success rate from that particular cooperative that's going to be formed, more or less.
Yes,
definitely.
Yes, and sometimes the process might seem long. But it's only the length of the process depends on the group. Because you're dealing with a group, you meet with a group today and you inform them or you advise them what it is they need to do, how they need to go forward. And it's depend on them now. They know how to. The pace
they want to go and obtain the necessaries, right?
And it must be a collective approach. So no one man could do the bylaw. We wouldn't sit with one person or two persons to sit down and do a bylaw. right? Even if we sit down and formulate the bylaw, there's an aspect of that process that we must meet with the general interest persons so that their understanding, the input in the bylaws is also there.
Is there a minimum or maximum person that you will that is needed in terms of having that process go through, formulating the bylaws and so forth? Is there a minimum among the person? You said it's not a one man, but is there a minimum or a maximum among that person can be part of it?
Right. So the minimum is 10 persons.
Minimum is 10 persons.
Yeah.
So in terms of formulating that bylaws, you need 10 persons to be
Yes, so the same goal.
at one given time, sit down and having that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we do based on the size of the group.
Yeah.
Once the group wants to go that way, and we reach a point where they form what you call the interim team, the interim board.
Yes.
Right. So we would sit sometimes with the interim board to do the framework of the bylaws. But there's a part of that process that before it's ratified, it must be circulated. So what that group, that interim team, management team comes up with have to be circulated to every member who have interest. So they would have to read it, they would have to go through it, and then there will come a time where we would present it to all the members.
All right. And that's basically the startup grouping.
Yes.
The startup grouping,
Yes.
which I think there's a minimum of I think it's 10 minimum for stats of that grouping. So they participate in that, and then in case new members coming, of course, they will be briefed on it also.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. And anything else you want to throw on this? I think we have covered a lot of ground on it.
Yes. Well, there was something that we didn't touch on though.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking a lot about startup, but after a cooperative is formed and it starts functioning, and we always try to do some supervisory visits every now and then to make sure things are on track, and we try to do our visits in synergies.
Okay.
Right, we try to do it together whenever it's possible. So I would reach out to Ms. Kito or Mr. Stroud and say, okay, we want to do a visit X, Y, and Z. Could we collaborate and try to do it together?
Are these visits notified in any way to that particular cooperative, or is it something that something we just show up and we want to know what's going on?
Well, it could.
We have the authority to do so.
Yeah, but it's usually notified.
The department has the authority to do so. They are the regulators.
Yes.
So if they feel to show up, they are the watchdog. They feel to show up and
unannounced.
They couldn't do that, but principle, you would inform the entity that we are coming. Just to mention in terms of how the league is working in the interest of cooperative and the cooperative model. We have established in the league departments that speaks to that.
Okay.
So we have the business support executive which helps with that, not only for the non-financial but for the credit union, because the credit union are the more successful cooperatives in Grenada. And then we have set up also, we had field officer, which is Ms. Kato now is a current field officer. Right. I served as, before I came as a field officer.
Yes,
she's a current field officer. And then we have the technical development officer, which is in the middle of both the non-financial and the financial to help guide that process and be involved in that process. We have lost the previous technical development officer, which is Michelle Peters Alexis. Sorry. So we have set up the instruments, the areas that can provide that kind of support for cooperative, right? And we work with the regulators, really close with the regulators. If you ask me, I would think it's time that we not just work wildly like that, but I would think it's time that we establish some form of memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
Right now we work through colleagues, we just work by understanding like comrades, in the interests of cooperatives, right?
Right?
But I think it is time that we could go down that road of establishing something more, so the cooperatives could see that the two entity is really working with their interests. Okay. Usually, when you, as someone was saying, when you make those visits after the setup, what is it that you really look for from the
the cooperative? What is the interest that the cooperative that you really go out to check on per se?
Basically to ensure
as a field officer now, she should be able to.
Yes.
basically to ensure that they're doing their books accordingly and no misappropriation of funds, ensuring that their members has the right training, and areas you might point out areas where members do need training, so you'll be able to pinpoint areas where to go out there and search for that particular training to give to them, because it's a continuous process. It's not just forming a cooperative and you leave them there. You have to support them through training and development.
All right. And if I say those training options that you mentioned is been offered and has not been used effectively, what comes about from that also? For instance, you say, well, I think your accountant need to be more versed in terms of what they're doing, or your treasurer is not keeping the books as he should, should be keeping it. What kind of, if you could say maybe penalties or whatever could occur on those levels when you do those stuff?
Yeah, well, penalties. The penalties is really the
it's like a last resort.
The last resort, yes, and it's the responsibility of the Department of Cooperative.
Okay.
Right. So you had a registrar, which is the head of the department, and once you realize that a cooperative is really being non-compliant, then she could apply certain penalties. The law gives her the power to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Gentlemen, and of course, lady, that's where we get to take a wrap for today's program. Anything we want to say before we take a wrap for today?
Well, I just want to say to the cooperatives out there and those interest groups, because our focus this year, and I think the government focus is pointing to cooperatives. It's one of the best business model, as I always say. And we are encouraging groups and small business people to collaborate, come together and form cooperatives. It will add value to you. It would add value to the country. It would add value. It would be more of an interest to work together rather than to compete against each other, because they are vendors, they are all sort of small business. It would be nice that they would come together and work together as one entity. Brings more value. I also want to say that in recent times we have registered one new cooperative. That's the Manabasti Cooperative.
Yes, I did have them on the show a few weeks ago.
Right. So, and we are in the process. We're on the final leg of registering one cooperative in Carriacou, which I'm looking forward to that registration, and I know Ms. Simons also, and I know Carriacou is looking forward to that registration. And there are a few other interest groups that are right behind, so our work is cut out for us. All right.
Simons, anything in mention?
Yes. Well, to add to what Mr. Schroeder said, I mean, this is actually internationally of the cooperative. It was established by the United Nations. So we'd really like to see a lot more interest, from groups. I always like to end by throwing out our contact information, right? Yes. So we have our phone number is 435-8779 or 8780. If you have any interest, you can always give us a call. You could always reach out to us on our Facebook page as well, Department of Cooperative. All right.
You can reach out to the league. Go ahead.
Well,
you say that.
As well, you can reach out to the league on 440-2903, and you can ask for Mr. Stroud or Ms. Kito.
I want to thank you folks once again. Pleasure to have you all as always. We can do this again next week. I'm not sure, we may have a different group in next week.
I think we need to.
She'll be coming on a regular. Kito will be coming on.
We need to have Ms. Kito back next.
I think you need to send on.
Yes. I understand your interest. So
yes, sure. I think you need to come around.
We from the same area, so we know what we think.
It's always difficult to call you Mr. Stroud, for some reason, but
I know.
Anyway, thanks once again, and best wishes goes out to everyone for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
All right, hey folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of the Mid Morning Buzz. I do have another segment coming up. Until then, have a good one, folks. That's what we say.